Hello, welcome to class. We'll be looking at a fresh question on IGCSE HTML. Alright, I've tagged this as exercise 11 in my compilation of past questions. So this is actually March 2022 question paper, and that's what we'll be using right now. You have been supplied with the following source files: m22 banner, m22 eagle.jpg, m22 flag, m22 grade, m22 lake, m22 lake.mp4, m22 styles.css, and m22 text.txt. So the first task to do here is evidence document. The question says create a new word process document. Make sure your name, center number, and candidate number will appear on every page of this document. Save this evidence document in your work area as m22 evidence, followed by your center number, candidate number, for example, in this manner. So you need the evidence document during the examination to play screenshots when required. We are familiar with this, so let's quickly get that done. So create task 2, file management. Create a new folder called m22_html. m22. I will create my folder on my desktop, m22_html. all right, I have that. Okay, I think I have it on the screen earlier, so I'm going to create a new one. Okay, this is a m22_html. so this is the folder. All right, then I'll quickly create the evidence document. I'll go to new, and I pick Microsoft Word document, so I'll call it evidence underscore my center number. In this case, let me just use NG011. okay, I have that. So the question says that okay, create a new folder called m22_html. Locate the following files and store them in your m22_html folder. So these files that we have are already in the source file folder given, so I'm going to open that so that I can get that done right now. So I have opened the source file folder given to me. Don't forget, I told you I made a compilation, so I compiled it under the folder exercise 11 in my compilation. You can check the link to download the folder. So I'm going to copy all the files here, copy, then I'll paste it in the created folder. All right, I have it here. So actually the folders, I mean the files I was asked to pick is banner, so I'm going to do it this way so that I will see it. Banner, okay, banner is here. Eagle is here. Then flag is here. Then lake CSS, I mean lake.mp4, that is here. Okay, this is mp4 file. Then so any other one that is not there, I may remove it. Okay, this is not there, so I may remove it, and this is not there, I may remove it. So then I have my files complete. So the next thing I will do is okay, display the content of your m22 HTML folder, showing the folder name, all file names, file extensions, file sizes, image dimensions, and for the video, the frame height and frame width. Remember that all this make 1 mark, so if you don't have all this done, you will lose the 1 mark. So let me get that done very quickly. So I'm going to do that right now. So I can just come to view, then I pick content. I think content should be able to show everything. So this is folder name, file names, types of file. I can see types of file here. Then I can see what else, the video frame. So, and if there's any other one, so if there's any other thing that I need to display, I'll just come to view, come to show. I think we were asked to show the file name extension, so I click on this. You can see, so this is the folder name, file names with extension, dimensions of images, the video frame height and width, we can see that type of file, file sizes, all of these have been displayed, you know, according to instruction. So all of them are displayed according to instruction. Then I'm good to take the, you know, screenshots. So the next thing is just to take the screenshots. Then I am good to go. I'll take the screenshots, then I paste it in my evidence document just as the instruction has been given. So you place that in your evidence document, you know, then you can resize so that it will suit, you can display it properly. Okay, and when you are doing that, notice that you don't crop away the folder name, and that's what I have here. The folder name is not cropped out, so that I'll be able to see that in my evidence document. You can see this folder name, file name, extension, type, dimension, and file size. So this is good. So we continue to the next instruction. So task 3, which is the actual web page creation. You are going to create a web page and style sheet about Lake Naivasha in Kenya. The web page and style sheet must work in any browser. Make sure that your style sheet contains no HTML. Make your HTML and style sheet as efficient as possible. So we do that. So the instruction is create in your M22 HTML folder a web page called Naivasha. So I'm going to launch Microsoft Expression Web. So this is the code view. You can see the code view. This is split view. You see the code and the design view together all at once, and this is the design view. You can switch in between the views, you know, to ease your work. So the first thing is to save it in the folder. So you go to File, go to Save As. Make sure when you get here, you locate the folder you are working in, which is m22_html. You have to save it in this folder. So the name is called Naivasha according to the instruction, Naivasha. So you type naivasha.html according to the instruction .html. Then you realize that somewhere there they said this web page must be created using a single table and must work in all browsers. This table must be center aligned and fit 80% of the browser window. The table must have a structure as shown. And then somewhere here we were asked set the title of the web page to Lake Naivasha homepage. That's the title of the web page. So we quickly do that, Lake Naivasha homepage. So you come to this place and change title and type Lake Naivasha homepage once and for all. So you click OK, then it is saved in your folder. That's the first thing to do. Then the next thing is that we have been told that it should work in all browsers and it has this structure. So the first thing you do is to know the number of columns and rows you have in this table. Looking at this table, you realize that we have 1, 2 columns and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. So that means we have 2 columns and 4 rows. Again, you notice that we have the width of the table to be 80% of the browser. Don't forget, you could have the width or the dimension of your table in pixels or percentages. In this question, it is given in percentage, so you quickly set that. So you come here, go to table, insert table, number of rows, number of columns from the question. We have from the question, you see that we have 2 columns and 4 rows. So we do that, 4 rows, 2 columns, and then since you have been given in percent, so you are going to go to percent. If it was pixels, you click pixels. So, and we were told that it should have 80%. That's why in pixel. Another thing I would like you to take note is that the borderline, even though they did not make any reference to it in the question, if you look at the question, they did not make reference to the borderline, but since you can see that the borderline is showing here, so you set the border at least to 1 to start with, to 1, then you click OK. So you have the table structure as we have it on the screen. So the next thing is to set up the table to look like this. So these two cells were merged in this place, so you are going to merge it. So we are working in the design view, so you select it, right click on it, then you go to modify and click on merge cells. So you have merged this cell, then you can label it A according to the instruction. Another thing they did to the table is that the width of the table is 100% and the height is 20%. So you quickly do that, right click in the cell, then you go to cell properties, come to specify the width given here of the table is 100%. Let's look at the question again. 100% width, 100% in percent, and the width, the height is given to us in percent also, and that is 20%. So you can see that in this question. So you click on OK or apply, as the case may be. So that has been done. Then the next one is B with 65%. B, so this is B. You click on it, B, then you right click, go to cell property, and then it's only the width, and it's specified in percentage, 65, and click on apply, and we have that. Then the next one is a C with 35%. So this is merged together, these three. So you right click on it after you have selected, go to merge, and it's called C. And then if you look at the instruction, the width is 35%. So you right click and go to cell properties, then the width 35%. Okay, you have that, and that is okay. Then the other ones we have D and E, but the dimensions were not given, D and E for the remaining. If you switch to the code view, you realize that everything we have done there has been created. The code has been generated automatically for us, so you can see that here. So that is good for us. So the next one is let's go to the other instruction. Each table cell is identified with a letter. Some dimensions are shown. This must be set as percentage values, as we have done. Do not set the height of cells B, C, D, or E, since they were not given, and that's why we did not set any height for them. So having done that, the cell contents shown in the table must not appear on your final web page. Table borders must appear on the final web page, and all this makes 7 points, and that's why we inserted border to 1 at least for this question. So then number 3, set the title of the web page to Lake Naivasha homepage, and that is what we have done. If we did not do it in the design view, we could have done it in the code, and here you see the title. Look at the title instruction, and here we have it. Instead of untitled one, we'll have it as what? Lake Naivasha homepage. That is done. Then the next one is set in the HTML the name of the default target window to _self. Now this instruction will make us to use a tag called base. There's a tag called base. There's an HTML tag called base. So, and since it affects the default target window, this tag will be used within the head session. Anything within the head session, affects the entire window. So we go to the head session, anywhere within the head session. So as long as within the head session. So this is the opening of the head session. You can see the opening of the head session, and this is the closing of the head session. So anywhere within the head session, we can make use of the base. So just start with the angle bracket. You can see the list of tags you can use within the head session. You can use title, style, script, object, meta link, and so on and so forth. So we are picking base. So when you pick base is a self-closing tag. It's a self-closing tag. So the first thing you do is just to close it. So then you can make use of the attribute within the base. So one of the attributes is href. So bring your cursor here, press space, you see all the possible attributes you can set for base. So we are making use of href, which is hyperlink reference. When you pick it, it asks you what is the name of the reference, and according to the instruction says we should make use of _self. Okay, having done this, you can see this, and that is 1 mark for that. Then the next instruction is simple. Place in cell A the image m22banner.jpg. So we go here. So in cell A, you can do it in the design view or code view as the case may be. You can see this is A. So if I want to do it in design view, I will just come here, select the A or delete A, let my cursor be there, then I go to insert, then I go to picture, from file, then I pick from that same folder. So the question says we should pick banner, which I have picked. If you look at this file, let me right click and go to preview, or select, open. You will see that this is an image file. You can see it now. This is an image file. So, and it's serving as the banner or the logo for the web page we are creating. So the instruction is simple. The instruction says that place in cell A the image banner. So I'm going to do that. So I'll select the banner, click insert. Then this dialog box has come asking for the alternate text. It's a good practice when you insert pictures, you put alternate text. The function of the alternate text is simple. If the image cannot load, cannot display for one reason or the other, then the alternate text will be there to tell the user or the viewer of the web page that this image, though it's not displaying, this alternate text is describing the image. So you put a relevant description. So I will call it Naivasha banner, or just Naivasha banner, or just banner, as the case may be. You don't need to put the long description. Then you say okay. You can see the image displayed already. Then the next instruction is simple. Place in cell B a video tag to display m22lake.mp4 so that it fits the width of this cell. Display an automated text-based error message if the browser does not support this video type. So to insert a video using this version of Expression Web, I think it's a good practice for us to do it in the code view when it comes to video. So come to the video, look at the image I inserted for cell A, Naivasha banner, the height and is there. The name of the file is there. This is alternate text and this is the width. Take note of this. I'm coming back to it, but we are working on cell B. So bring your cursor, delete the B, then open the video tag. Open the video tag, type video, and you close. You realize that as you have typed video, it has closed it automatically for you. So within the video tag, if you want to make it easier for you so that you can understand, you can break it. This is the opening of the video, this is the closing of the video. Within the video tag, there's another tag called source, okay, and I've closed that source. So I will explain each of them one after the other. Now for this video, what are the possible attributes we use for video? I will let you see it, but before I let you see it, let me just save this. Ctrl S, or you come to file, click on save. After you have saved it, go to file, go to preview in browser so that you can see how it looks in a browser. So in the browser that I have set, you can see that this is the title of the web page, Lake Naivasha homepage that we named. You can see this is cell A. We have put the banner, but this is cell B that I'm working on. It does not display anything, so that you can understand. So let's go back to the code. So having put the video tag, the next thing I will do is that within the source, I'm going to put space, then I put src. Src is the code for the source of the file. So source equals, immediately I put equals, you see that there is an opened speech marks waiting for me. So in the source, what you put is the name of the file. According to the instruction, the name of the file is m22lake.mp4. So you have to put it with the file extension. So I'm going to type in there m22lake.mp4. You don't make mistake with this. So that is the source. The source is referring to the file name. So if I save this file, save, then I go to my browser and reload. Let's see what happened. you can see that the there is a picture of the video file. Now, to make sure that it works properly, I'm going to set another attribute. Another attribute I'm going to set here will be, it's very simple. You can see another attribute is type. That is the type of video equals to the type of video, or the type of file is video. So you type video /mp4. You are telling the browser that the file that you are seeing is a video file. So you come to this and save. So if you reload it, you have told the browser that this is a video file. So the browser knows already. The next thing you will do here is that within the opening of the video, you come here. You can also break this down by pressing enter so that it will be here. So you specify another attribute within the video, which is called controls. Controls will bring the control bar at the bottom of the video so that you can play it back on your web browser. You type it controls, there must be S control. So if I come here and I save, then I go back to my browser and reload, you will see the difference now. Because of the control I put, you see that the control bar is already visible, so I can use it to play. You can see that I can use it to adjust the volume. I can use it to adjust the full screen play. All those is there. Then the next thing I'm going to do with this video is I come and specify the error message according to the instruction. It says display an automated text-based error message if the browser does not support this video type. So I'm going to do that now. So I'll come here. That one will be done within, after source. Out of it, I'm going to type your browser does not support this file. File format not supported by the browser. Okay, good. So I'm going to save this. That is okay. Another thing we can set for the video is the dimension of the video, which is the frame. And you will see by default the frame is bigger than the size. Look at the size, 65, but the frame of the video file by default is bigger than this, so we need to resize it. So let's continue with the instructions, so we'll get there. So the next thing is that put in cell C the image M22 Eagle in cell C. So I can come here, this is cell C, the image Eagle. So right now I'm doing it within the code. You can as well do it in the design view I told you. So in the code, so I bring my cursor here where we have C, and I go to insert, I go to picture, I go to file, and I put Eagle according to the instruction. So you can call it Eagle image, or image of an eagle, image of eagle, as the case may be. Then I have that. So you can see that it is generated here. So I save it by coming to file and go to save. Then the next instruction is simple. All this we have done will earn 8 points. You can see that 8 points is very important. So that's why you need to calm down and get this done correctly. Then number 6, place inline style attributes into the HTML so that each image fits the width of the table cell with its aspect ratio maintained. Inline styles. There are actually 3 ways by which you can, use styles with your HTML code. Now, number 1 is by using inline style. Number 2 is by using internal style. And number 3 is by using external style. External style is usually the CSS file that you are attaching. Then the internal style is the one you have specified within the head session. For example, let me show you. The style, the style tag used within the head session here is an example of internal style. So if you want to use external, that means you are creating a separate style sheet, then you attach to this HTML code. But if you want to make use of inline, that means in the same line of that instruction, you are specifying style. So I'm going to do that right now. You see that. So the question says place inline style attribute into the HTML so that each image fits the width of the cell with its aspect ratio maintained. When aspect ratio is maintained within the HTML code, that means when you are changing the height dimension, you remove the width dimension. Or if you are changing or resizing the width dimension, you remove the height dimension. That's how to maintain aspect ratio within the HTML code. So, but in this case, we want to use inline. So I want you to watch and see clearly. So we are doing for each of these images we have done. We have done for A, B, and C. So let's go to them. For A, for example, in the question for A, the width is 100%. And the height is 200%, but the question says we should resize the width of the image we have put. So I'll come here. This is for A. A is where we put banner. So for me to do that, within the img tag, which is for image, within it, I'm going to specify an inline style. Remember that the width of this space, of this cell, TD represents cell, is 100%. So but I want to use that here. So I'm going to remove the height that came with the instruction here. Why? Because we are maintaining aspect ratio. So the only thing I'm setting here is actually the width. So if I like, I'll just adjust the width directly, or I'll delete this entire width here. Then I bring my cursor to this place. Since I'm making use of what you see is what you get software, in this case I'm making use of expression web, I'll bring my cursor and press space. The moment I press space on the keyboard, I have a list of options of attributes to use. So I'll type S to show me that I can use style. So I'm going to pick style. So after I've picked style, so since I want to specify the width, I'll type W. From W, I'll pick width. Then the width I'm going to specify will be the width of the cell. So the cell is 100%. So I'm going to set the width to 100% since I'm making use of percentage according to the instruction. If what I want to use is in pixels, I'm going to put pixel, or I don't put any dimension. So default is pixel. Since I'm using percentage, I'm going to specify percent. That is done for A. So if I save and reload, you will see the difference. You know, before now, you see the image of this banner is longer than the size of the screen. Now that I've done it and I'll save, I reload, you see that it has adjusted. So let's go to the next one, which is B. This is where we have B. For this, I'm going to specify the dimension. So I'm coming here to the video space. Then I'm going to put style equals, just the same way, equals width W. I'll pick width, and the width I'm going to use is 100%. You should ask me, why am I making use of 100%? I will explain. The question says that, according to the question, says place inline style attribute into the HTML so that each image fits the width. If the width has been set to 35%, but we want to put an image, I want to use the entire space, so it's going to be 100% of the entire space, and that's why I'm setting it to 100% for this. So if I save it now, you will see the difference. Save, I'll come to file and click on save. Then let me go to the browser to reload. You will see that it has adjusted for this. It has adjusted for this. Then the next thing is this other image. So I'm coming here, then I'll come to this other image. Okay, so having done this, I'll come here to the other image, which is image of eagle. So I'll come here and put space. The moment I press space, I go to S style and I pick width, W, width, and I'll set the width to 100%. 100%. I will save it. You notice that because we are maintaining aspect ratio, it was only the width that we specify. We did not put any height. So by doing that, the corresponding height will be generated automatically. That's how to maintain aspect ratio within the HTML code. So I'm going to save, going to file, save, then I will reload my browser and let us see what we have. You can see now everything is perfectly done. So if you don't do all this correctly, you will probably have issues with the instruction. So let's continue with the instruction. So the next thing is add appropriate alternate text to both images. Now we have done that while we're inserting the images. That's why it's a good practice. As you are inserting the image, you set the alternate text immediately. So Number 8, place in cell D the text from the file m22text.txt. Place in cell D the text from the file. So you go to your folder, the text. So you are going to open this file. This is the old text here. So you select all of it. Control A to select all. Then you copy. After you have copied, the instruction says place in cell D. So you go to cell D. You can do this in the design view. Cell D. If you can see it in cell D. Okay, this is your cell D. So you delete the D, then you paste it in cell D. Paste. Okay, in cell D. So we have that in cell D. So the next thing, according to the instruction, is set this text as paragraph style. So to set it as paragraph style, just select what you have here, everything, then you go to paragraph style. You can see your style, different style. You can see that paragraph style. Just pick P after you have selected. So you have set it to paragraph style. If you go to code view, you will see that the P is there. Look at it, P, and it's open there and it's closed here. So that means you have set it to paragraph style. Then the next instruction is enter in cell E the text edited by, followed by a space, your name, center number, and candidate number. Edited by in cell E. So you go to cell E. You can still do it in design view if you want, or code view. Edited by. Okay, this is cell E. So you change it to edited by colon, then your name, center number, and candidate number. My candidate number is 0001. Then the instruction says set it to H3. Set it as style H3. So you select it, come to style, and set it to H3. You can see that in H3. So you have done that. Then the next one, create a hyperlink from the text. Click here to open a web page with the URL http://www.magicalkenya.com in a new browser window called _blank. This is a 3-mark question. So let's get this done. So I'm going to do this. You locate where you have click here. So you locate it. To locate it, you can go to your code view. Okay, click here. You can see it. This is the click here. You can use find to look for it. Click here. So you set it, and you set it as an hyperlink. So you go to insert hyperlink. Now the instruction says set it as an hyperlink to this URL http://www.magicalkenya.com. So you come to address when you are on existing file or web page. So you click here and type www.magicalkenya.com. Then the next instruction says that, and you set it in a new browser window called _blank. So how do you get this done? It's very simple. So go to target frame. That's your target frame. So you go there to set it. It is very important to do that. Go to your target frame. So in the target frame, a dialog box will open, and you set it to _blank according to the instruction _blank. You will see it there. Then you pick it. It has been set, and you say OK. So you have that _blank. Okay. So having done this, then the next instruction is to attach the style sheet M22 style to your web page. But before we do this, a 1-mark question. Let us even preview what we have done so far. So what you come here, go to file, go to save, then preview it. Okay, you can see that this everything we have added. Okay, good. So then the next instruction is very simple. Let's go to the next instruction. Attach the style sheet m22 style.css. So it is easier to attach this style sheet. So to attach the style sheet is very simple. Make sure, usually style sheet is attached within the head section. Don't forget this. Anywhere within the head section, style sheet is attached. So if your cursor is within the edge section, to attach the style sheet, go to Format, go to CSS Styles, and go to Attach Style Sheet. So it's going to ask you for the style sheet you want to attach. Go to Browse, pick the name of the style sheet according to the instruction is m22styles.css. So make sure that is the file.css, then click Open and said okay. It should be on link, attached as link, then you say okay. Now the moment you have done that, you will notice that this style sheet has been added. Look at it, link. So it's actually the link tag that we use to attach style sheet. Link tag is used to attach style sheet, and all these href, rel, and type are the attributes for it. You can see it. Attributes are usually the red color, you can see, and then the tag is actually the wine color, you can see, and the name of the files are usually the blue color, so you can see that. So it has been attached. For us to see the function of this style sheet, we need to save the file, then we need to reload our browser. Before we reload, you can see how the web page is looking before the style sheet. Don't forget, style sheet is a presentation layer, a design that is attached to this style sheet to make it more presentable. So let me reload and see what has happened. Wow, now that I have done that, you can see that all the content of the web page have been formatted. It has been formatted in a more presentable manner. You can see there is already a background image. You can see the borderline. It has changed the font face and the font color of the content of the web page. So that is very good for now. So I'm going to stop here for now. So I will continue on the next instruction later, which is on how to create a new style sheet. So this is just to make it easier for you to understand. So we have done that from the first question to the attachment of style sheet. So thank you for listening. I want you to practice this. The source files will be given here as a link that you can click to download, so that you can practice what we have done so far, and you see how easy it is to use web expression or expression web to create web pages, especially for IGCSE ICT examination. Thank you. See you in the next video.